British Airways, the flagship airline of Britain, the airline that was seen as revolutionary across the world, the airline that reflected stability and prosperity. But what is BA like today, and what is next for the airline? Firstly, let's talk about the airline's subsidiaries, of which there are many, but we will talk about the main ones. These subsidiaries are British Airways City Flyer and British Airways Euroflyer. City Flyer has been around for quite some time now, since 2007. However, Euroflyer is a new subsidiary by the company, which will begin operations officially in 2023. British Airways City Flyer is an airline based at London City Airport, but they occasionally fly out of other areas in the UK. As of right now, the airline has no plans to upgrade its fleet of existing E190s, but they do want to expand further into Europe. Now, the other subsidiary, Euroflyer, which is meant to be an airline that has cheaper operating costs without impacting passengers' comfort or experience. This will come with drawbacks, such as paying crew less. The airline will be London Gatwick based, considering that the Gatwick operations pre-pandemic brought in a very weak revenue. As of now, Euroflyer will consist of A320 family aircraft. The fleet is quite old at the moment though, meaning that the airline has begun looking at replacements. Aircraft such as the MAX 8-200 have cropped up in discussions, but as of writing and recording, nothing has been confirmed. As of January 2023, the British Airways average fleet age is 13.8 years, with the Airbus A319 series in the airline having the oldest average age of 21 years. Following closely, the Boeing 777 series in the airline have an average age of 19 years, and ultimately the airline's oldest aircraft is a 1997-built 777-200ER. The airline has refurbished almost all of their 777-200ERs, meaning that the airline plans to keep the aircraft for a while, otherwise they wouldn't have made that investment. British Airways is taking steps to enlarge and modernise their fleet. For short haul, the airline plans to have 15 A321neo aircraft and 24 Airbus A320neo aircraft. The A320neos are meant for expansion and were meant to replace the older A319 series. However, the airline plans to keep their originally delivered 319 series until at least 2025, and the ex-BMI examples for potentially longer at their London Gatwick base. The 321neo aircraft are also mainly for airline expansion. However, these aircraft have replaced some of the ex-BMI A321 aircraft, which were previously used on longer haul routes such as London Heathrow to Cairo. For long haul, the airline plans to receive 18 Boeing 777-9 aircraft. It is unknown for what these aircraft will be actually used for. However, evidence suggests that they will be used for expansion alongside being put on existing routes. These aircraft were supposed to be a Boeing 747 replacement before British Airways retired the type in 2020 due to the pandemic. And while they will, yes, replace the 747s, it won't be as much like for like as initially intended. The airline plans to have 18 A350-1000 aircraft in total, which are mainly used for expansion. When this video was recorded, the airline already has 13 of those. Onto the Boeing 787, they'll plan to have 12 787-10s, with deliveries of these aircraft delayed due to 787 quality assurance difficulties, something that has impacted many carriers right around the world, and British Airways certainly aren't the only one. The Dash 10s are mainly being eyed for expansion, but could also be seen as a potential future replacement for the Dash 200ERs over at the 777 family, even though the 787-10 does not have crew restrooms. Management has come under heavy scrutiny in British Airways because of obvious cost-cutting measures that have decreased the quality of passengers' experience. One example is the removal of free complimentary food on short-haul flights. British Airways management has become more budget-focused in recent years, with implementing various changes in their operations to ensure that maximum profit can be reached. People have scrutinised the sheer amount of seating on board British Airways' A350-1000 aircraft, as well as criticising the airline for not having onboard cameras on the 350, which almost every airline has. Other criticisms include the airline's short-haul service, for example, installing budget airline-level seating in the economy cabins on board their A320neo series, which actually have worse legroom than budget airlines in the region. A great example of cost-cutting is Euroflyer, an airline based at London Gatwick, which was primarily created to cut costs at the base. So what next for BA? Well, British Airways as a company aims to do what any company wants, which is to gain maximum profits. The airline aims to expand its already huge presence at London Gatwick's airport. But also, the airline aims to only expand its already huge presence at London Heathrow, but also expand in London Gatwick, as well as other airports with its various subsidiaries, such as BA City Flyer, which aims to look to expand at London City, Southampton, and more. British Airways also wants to modernise their fleets for the future, albeit slowly, to ensure that they can get as much reliable life out of their current aircraft as they can. British Airways also wants to try and maintain as much of a dominance as they can in the United Kingdom, as well as wanting to be the first choice for customers on board. To remain a first choice, or maybe potentially, in your opinion, regain the position of first choice, they'll need to heavily take a look at key decisions that have been implemented by management over recent years that have been heavily criticised by the flying public. If you have any thoughts on British Airways, you can let us know down below in the comments. Thank you very much for your continued support right here on the channel. Take care and be safe, and we will indeed see you next time.